What's going on, Argos fans? Sean Bowen and Mike Hogan here for Keys to the Game as we get set for this Thursday's matchup against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Hoagie, it's no secret last week. We're going to turn the page on that one and forget about it. But we did see quarterback by committee. McLeod, Dakota, kind of running a two-man offense there at the second half of the game. As we go into this Thursday against Winnipeg, they kind of run a similar offense where we see Strevler and Nichols taking different stops at different times of the game. I'm wondering your thoughts and if that's beneficial for the Argos, maybe have a look at going into Thursday's matchup against Winnipeg and running a two-man system.
Well, whatever works at this stage. They've had problems on offense, although the last time they played the Bombers, McLeod Bethel-Thompson had a fantastic game. The game against Edmonton, not so much. So at least you have this in the back pocket now. You get Dakota Prukop some reps in practice and see what's there. You start McLeod, you let him go as long as he's playing well. I think you leave the long leash on him, but maybe you have some packages throughout the game that you can spot him in. Historically, we've seen stuff like this work back in the day, even in Toronto, where in 1983 the Argos won a Grey Cup with a couple of different quarterbacks when they had Condridge Holloway and Joe Barnes. You've seen Warren Moon, Tom Wilkinson, Clemens and Holloway in Ottawa. Historically, it's worked. Hasn't been done very often, but Winnipeg's making it work, as you mentioned.
I wasn't even alive in 1983, so that's why I'm glad I have you with me here. Let's move on here to special teams. Chris Rainey is probably going to be making an impact here. I mean, we saw it last week. I mean, special teams played a massive part in the last game against Winnipeg in when they started this three-game road set. White had taken off a touchdown early to start the game. I mean, what needs to change and how much is Chris Rainey going to be focused here in this Thursday?
Well, Rainey, when they do get kickoffs, is going to be big. Likewise, Kevin Fogg, a former Bomber, would love to exact some revenge on his former team, but it's coverage, it's coverage, it's coverage. And we saw in that game in Winnipeg where a couple of times very early in the first quarter, couple of kicks, one's in the end zone, one's in the red zone, and they score a play later. So they've got to clean that up. They have to clean that up to have a shot, because we know Mike O'Shea's a brilliant coach. Watch on the kickoff return for the touchdown, watch the blocking scheme. It's brilliant. O'Shea is just a genius, so they've got to counter that.
A lot of attention to detail today at practice regarding kickoffs and special teams. Let's go to the running back position. Brandon Burks. I thought he played fairly well against Edmonton. I mean, at points he kind of, looked out of place a little bit, but I mean, he had the longest run of the season to date this far. And then we go in against Winnipeg, and we have Andrew Harris, who's a premier running back in this league as well.
Andrew Harris is probably the guy. Brandon Burks, if he's in for Wilder this week, wants to be the guy. And, he's a guy that provides a little bit different look. Wilder's a bigger body. He's a power runner who has speed. Burks is a speed runner who has some power as well. So he's a different body type. It'll be interesting to watch him on the blitz pickups to see how he does there, because we know Wilder is a big body. Once he gets on you, it's very tough to get off him. So a little bit of a challenge there just from the physicality, but he's got a low center of gravity, and he wants to block. And that's half of the battle with a lot of running backs. The fact that he wants to block is a really good sign.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Last couple of weeks, we've done Hogan's Key to the Game, and you've said what? Protecting the ball.
Yeah.
Something different this week. What's your key to a win here this Thursday?
I think we just talked about it. It's cleaning up special teams against Winnipeg because they are so well coached in that department. Again, the turnovers is an obvious one, and to get some play out of the quarterbacks. I'm not putting it all on the quarterbacks last week. You got to score some points. Yeah. And neither McLeod nor Dakota had a particularly strong game last week. And there were some breakdowns. I don't know how much of that is on the quarterback, and I don't know how much is on the receiving core because I'm not in the film room. And it's really difficult to assess blame on a ball that isn't complete because you don't know the route, you don't know who's got which responsibility. So wherever the blame lied last week, it's got to get better. But boy, you got to get better on special teams than you were 3 weeks ago.
Coach Shamlin did announce today that McLeod will be starting a quarterback this Thursday. Some housekeeping news as well. Bear Woods has been named back to the team as the Argos signed the linebacker to come back and start playing defense for this Argos squad. It's this Thursday against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. It's Thursday night football here in the 6, and it's a part of our concert series. It's Classified will be performing at half. You won't want to miss out. You a big Classified fan, Hoagie?
All over him.
All over him. Hoagie loves him. I love him. Thanks very much for tuning in. We will see you guys later, and go Argos.